Commencing Operation Generation. The comics on today's show speaks of clones, drones, and cheap knockoffs, ranging from Termagax, the Insecticons, and my least favorite, Sound Blaster. Why mess with the original recipe if the original is superior? Ugh, everything is a clone these days. Wait, that gives me an idea. Intern Kyle, come here.
Actually, it's just Kyle.
Intern Kyle, I will need you to donate your organs and blood. Afterwards, your service will be rendered complete, and you can go home. Now, in the meantime, let's tune in to the show.
I don't think that's how humans work.
Silence, Intern Kyle. The show is starting.
Hello, and welcome to the podcast where we are currently recapping the events of the Transformers IDW 2019 continuity. I'm Onyx Prime with my two wonderful co-hosts here.
Hi, I'm Killobyte.
And I'm Clickbait.
Moving on with our comic discussion for today's episode takes us to IDW Transformers issues 31 to 36. And as always, spoiler warning. So if you haven't read it, we highly recommend you go read these ones because they're a good one. I mean, we say that all the time, but it's true,
great.
you know? Yeah,
Amazing.
So go read them,
Fabulous.
and come back and listen to the podcast. So we are also having a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We'll be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before. So click that subscribe button. Tell your friends it's a good time. Now, onwards with the podcast. With that, Clickbait, do you mind giving us the fun facts and trivia about the comics we're discussing for today's episode?
Absolutely. Let's get it started with some fast facts. Number of comics is 6. Year released, issue 31 was released of June 23rd to 2021, and issue 36 was released October 27th of that same year. The writer is Brian Reckley, and artists are going to be Anna Malkova, Angel Hernandez, Beth McGuire-Smith, with colors by David Garcia Cruz and Evan Gaunt. Now, to my personal favorite, the trivia. In issue 31, Perceptor speculates that Jumpstream's teleportations temporarily takes her through unspace. While the term originates in Marvel's The Transformers comics, the concept's been slowly reaching into other Transformers mythos across the years. The Cyberverse cartoon, War for Cybertron, and IDW's own Beast Wars comic have all used the concept to refer to the void between different realities within the Transformers universe. And in issue 34, the rust worms that plague the region resemble the drillers from the Dark of the Moon film. Their worm-like shape, serrated fangs, and description as machine animals, as well as their mysterious appearance at some point in Cybertron's deep past, also recall the Dweller from the Generation cartoon episode, The Dweller in the Depths. That was a lot of words.
It was. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Kilo.
Time for some summaries. Let's go. An unsuccessful teleportation experiment leaves Jumpstream stranded on a dangerous planet and farther from home than she ever imagined. Dun dun dun. And as always, this information has been taken from the wiki.
From the wiki.
And we cannot forget our special shout out, as always, to our Patreons. Thank you so much for the support. You guys are all awesome.
Stay cool.
You guys rock. Are you guys ready to dive into today's comics?
I am
Always.
so ready.
So ready.
With the Decepticons in control of Icon, Perceptor has a plan which involves nucleon-enriched energon. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, I feel like
Really nothing. I mean, Perceptor's
2 drops of nucleon turns a normal gun into a band gun. But where have I heard that before?
I mean, I feel like Perceptor has made such great decisions in the past. We should absolutely, wholeheartedly just trust whatever he says and not even question it or do any independent research before we strap a device powered by nucleon energon to our backs and figure out what happens. I do not trust Perceptor. He clearly has some mysterious motivations here. Did like the little
Mysterious?
catch
Why
up
would
at
you
the
say
beginning. That was nice.
Yeah.
Like, in
On
case
the
you
flip
forgot
side,
everything.
Sunstorm
Poor guy.
is being tested on by Shockwave.
pretty surprised by that.
And has seen some things. Any theories?
I feel like, the whole thing that happened with Sunstorm gives me the Fantastic Four vibes. Like how, remember
with Johnny Blaze?
Yeah, when they went out into space. I think it was like one of the older Fantastic Four ones. They went out into space and they came back and then they started mutating after they were exposed in space.
Yeah.
Everybody thought they were crazy and they started mutating and then they really thought they were crazy. That's kind of what kind of vibes that gives me. He's obviously already mutated.
Yeah, well, this one's more black hole related, if we remember. This is why we don't play with black holes. You might get
that's in space
spaghettified.
too.
Yeah, that's also in space.
Well, that one was in artificial space.
Was
It
it
was
though?
on
But it's
a
still
moon.
space.
Still space.
It was the
I
moon.
think space entered the artificial space where there wasn't supposed to be real
When you
space,
start
and that caused
saying
a
this,
problem.
everything is space technically. Clickbait. Everything's space. Okay, let's move on. This
Listen,
is
I'm
redundant.
just tired enough to argue this
Jumpstream
pointlessly. Okay.
jumped into another reality. What?
That
Gets
was so
captured by
good.
Exarchon, or at least in this world, they
Exarchon.
lost the battle of the threefold spark. And this is the dark outcome of what we see of this world. What are y'all's favorite scenes?
I don't think. Well, I might spoil it based on that, but we'll get to it once we get there. But I really like this. Especially reminds me a lot of our third season of our D&D.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever could you mean?
Whatever could you possibly mean?
It's all time related and different.
I hate this so
timelines
much.
and dimensions.
I
It's
hate
great.
this so much.
I loved it.
Anyway.
I was a little bit disappointed in the Exarchon symbol,
Yep. That was kinda
badge.
lazy.
It was kind of, But I'm interested to see if this is like Void related, like the Exarchon, because there's at one point Optimus is talking to Pyromagna and says that Exarchon was brought to Cybertron, like from, they came from somewhere else. They weren't created or originated on Cybertron. So I'm interested if this is like a Void that became like Data and can like infiltrate Cybertronians in that way.
That's possible.
And that's probably why they need 3 bodies.
Well, later on in the issues, we do see that Exarchon, I think it's Ruckus, takes over Ruckus, and whoever it was that woke up.
Yeah.
So it's
now
obviously...
We're getting really far ahead.
Yeah, that's...
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's obviously not Cybertronian.
Yeah. Well, the reason I say Void is because in this issue we see the little orb connected to Sunstreaker and some of the heavies and stuff. So I'm assuming it's kind of related to maybe that kind of technology or race. So
yeah,
definitely possible.
I like during this scene when we discover who that shape was, the void between the multiverses or timeline or whatever you want to call it. Because at first I was like, okay, who's this? It's just a normal looking Seeker silhouette, and then we find out it's Skywarp.
Oh, I was so excited for that.
Skywarp.
I do like, before we move on, one of the other things that they discussed was mode locking. I liked how they brought up mode locking. And also, Flatline is one of my personal favorite characters. I love that
Flatline is
he's great. Also, his design rocked. But I also thought it was really cool how in the beginning he was talking about how all the Autobot medical professionals wouldn't serve Decepticons, but Flatline's thing has always been... He also ended up, I think, getting kicked out of the Decepticons in another continuity because he was so true to his medical oath, treating everybody, regardless of their faction type or their care, and then figuring out what would happen to them later after they were better. But I thought it was really fun to see a character like that, and him stay true to that. Like, he flat out mentioned it, so I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, flat line. Got it.
Very funny. Well, also, there's this big... when we get to... It's right before Jumpstream actually gets hooked up to the Nucleon jump backpack or whatever. We see this like building front, and it's got Cybertronian on it, and it actually is translatable. And on the front it reads Academy of Applied Tech, and then the rest is cut off. I'm assuming it reads Academy of Applied Technology, but I thought it was fun. It's always fun when it actually translates to something.
Is that the same building like Perceptor is in? Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I think they mentioned he was there, but it's fun when it actually matches up.
Yeah. No,
Moving
that's
us forward, what are our thoughts on Bumblebee's rescue for Alita 1?
I enjoyed it a lot, especially I don't remember their names, but there's these two bots, and one of them kind of becomes the head of the other one, and their head is a rhino.
Really
So
cute.
they're a smaller bot. I don't want to say they're a cassette, but they walk on all fours, and they're definitely smaller. But then they kind of link together, and they become the head of the other one, and they have a rhino, and it just gave me the Spider-Man villain Rhino vibes when they go through the walls, and
Oh
I
my
found them
gosh,
very funny.
yes.
I like when he stood up and Bumblebee's like, "Oh, I didn't know you could do that." Like on two legs.
That was funny.
Yeah, I like there's a scene where he's like, "Oh, you can't see my face, but I'm smiling down
cute.
here or underneath here," and it's great. They're great.
Related to the cast, I've really enjoyed with these comics, and we see here the diverse cast of Seekers we've
Oh,
been
they're
seeing, especially
great.
during the attack on House and Termagax. Like, we know there are other Seekers, but they never had as much of a presence as they have had in this
Absolutely.
continuity.
There's a lot.
I like how
lot.
they take the time to name multiples.
Not all of them
and
do
it's
well,
a lot of
but
fun.
yeah, no, it's really good, and all of them are unique. They're all slightly different, which is great. They give them a little different personality, different skill set. These ones, however, the ones that we're watching, they're not the brightest, of
No.
course, but you know,
One of them is. One of them said, "Hey, I got to report this before we go further," and the other ones just didn't
Yeah.
listen.
yeah, that one became worm food.
Yes,
The worms were fun. I wasn't expecting them. That was a lot of fun.
I like
Yeah,
the
they're
They are
explanation.
definitely
terrifying.
terrifying.
The explanation for the worms, it was great.
Yeah, that was also really great. I love how Termagax, like, you don't think she knows
On
what she's
the-
doing, but she's actually pretty in tune with what's going on. She just doesn't understand the politics that are leading to it.
I believe
I
Termagax.
believe it. Yeah, I believe
don't
her.
doubt her at all.
Nope.
She's one of those that has several plans ahead of time.
Yeah, no, definitely. If she had her own faction, I would be there. No questions about it.
Absolutely.
On the flip end of things, Skywarp
Oh,
is now back in this reality or this timeline, and he pops up very much
Love him.
everywhere. He has a very different take on him. He acts more like a Cheshire's cat. You know, slightly annoying, slightly thinks he's better
slightly
than you,
annoying.
and he can just
He annoyed every
Yeah,
character
then he
in
can
these
teleport
issues. Nobody
between here.
was happy
Oh,
to
yeah.
see him. Not Megatron,
He
not
knows his goal.
Shockwave, not Optimus. He was just causing mass chaos and absolutely loving it. It was beautiful.
Yeah, like the
I
Cheshire's
think
cat.
my favorite part was when he shows up in the beginning and he just goes, "Take me to your leader." It was hysterical.
Yeah,
It was great.
I when I first saw Skywarp come back from the void, I thought that this was going to be Exarchon because they never
Yeah.
said
Right.
that they defeated him. So I feel like he either got trapped or they sent him away, and then when he came back, he's now pretending to be Skywarp, and is just trying to get as much info and kind of get inside of every faction and see where he can kind of start his
I
infiltration.
don't know. I don't know.
So,
yeah,
it's
I
great.
was right there with you too, because in the alternate universe, there was like 2 clone Skywarps walking around or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like
it was a
I don't know if the
misdirection. I feel
clones
yeah, especially with
have
the
the
end,
ability
yes.
to teleport though.
we didn't get to see them very
they
much.
never
So.
did really anything in the alternate
I don't know,
universe.
'cause
So
We've seen what an extra to an anomaly did to Sunstorm, and they're drawing a very close parallel to Skywarp here. So I feel like this is actual Skywarp. And if it wasn't Skywarp originally, if it was a clone, this clone has become too
Yeah.
far removed to be affected by Exarchon. I think it's a lot, and I love. He was just chaos.
no. We're not saying that this Skype warp is the clone. Is in the alternate timeline. There's 2 what looks to be clones of Skywarp because they have the same colors in the background when Jumpstream is being attacked by
Oh,
Sunstreaker
I thought you
and
said
all
this
the other ones.
Skywarp you thought may have
So
been a clone.
I feel like
No.
no. It's
no.
the other one, and so
Hey,
that's what,
Clickbait, you should go back, read
No,
the comics, then come
I
listen to the
read the
podcast.
comics because I remember the 2 clones you're speaking about. But I thought what you thought when this Skywarp appeared in this timeline, he was one of the clones from Exarchon's timeline who had followed Jumpstream
No.
back, which also is a
Just
reasonable
doing,
assumption.
saying
Gonna make a great edit.
what we're saying is that we thought that Exarchon was
I got
inside of
that.
Skywarp and it
I
was
got that, but I
pretending to
thought
be
that was
Skywarp.
because he had come
Okay, let's
from
move on.
Exarchon's
Back
timeline.
to Termagax and the House now fighting
Love
the
House.
Swarm. Well, things didn't look great until Skylink showed up, which is great, but I really thought they were going to be killed. because Termagant seemed very calm, and I was like, well, she's probably gonna be fine. The
How
other
dare
two
you
probably
underestimate
not.
House?
When she was calm, I thought she was gonna, since she has the Enigma of combination, I thought she was gonna trigger it and combine with the house and the other two
Ooh.
bots and kind of start fighting the swarm. But then Skylinks interrupted it, so I don't know what her plan was, and I'm kind of disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Because combining would have been pretty cool.
That would have been
really
very cool.
I thought we were gonna get the Paramagnet combiner. His name I forget.
Like the, it's not Victorian.
Oh,
Is it Victorian?
Pyromagna?
Yeah,
Victorian?
Victorian.
It's
Yeah.
Victorion? Yeah. I thought
Yeah,
we were
it's
gonna get that.
Victorian.
Victorian, yeah. I don't think we've been introduced to all of the components yet. We've seen Jubstream. I think we saw
We saw
Sky
2 more, so
Blast.
there's 4
Yeah.
at least.
We're
Dust
missing
up,
a
I think.
motorcycle and another car,
I feel like we've seen them, we just haven't
Yeah,
been
dust
introduced
up,
to
yeah.
them.
We're missing the helicopters, right? They don't have 2. They have 2 helicopters.
There's two
There's two
helicopters.
helicopters, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen a plane, a car, a truck,
No.
and a motorcycle.
No. It's 2 helicopters, 2 cars, 1
I know-
motorcycle, and
I know
then
they don't have a
Pyra.
plane, but there's one that actually has the colors and it has the wings of a plane. So they might be switching it up, or it could be one of those that just switched their colors in order, like, to show that they were with
Possibly.
Paramagna.
Possible. But then the Rainmakers show up and the rest of the Decepticon army. But Termagax isn't done with surprises yet. She unleashes her own clone drone army. Any favorite scenes?
All of them. I loved all the artwork. It was beautiful.
Every
Yes.
battle scene in here is great, but I really love Six Shot and Skytread fighting to
That
see
was
who's in
cute.
command.
That was hilarious.
That was so great.
Especially,
Didn't end well
don't know
for
why he thought it was
Skytread,
gonna
but
end well.
especially towards the end, because at the end, Skytread gets the Enigma, and so he looks at Six Shot and he's like, "Okay, you want to rethink who's in command now?"
No. He's like, no,
and then
thank
he
you.
just falls into the sea of worms and then just dies. And so Six Shot is like, "Well, retreat. Let's get out of here."
oh man.
Oh,
Could you
and then
imagine?
when Six Shot sends the Seekers, the Rainmakers, and all 3 of them get shot down, he goes, "Well, that went well," and then Six Shot just smacks him in the back of the head and says, "I told you to deploy, go."
Yeah, they get shot down by the anti-Rainmakers,
The
also
Drought.
known as the Drought, which I think is
great.
Sunstreaker, RC, and who's the third
It's not
one?
Sunstreaker.
No, that's not
It's Sure
Sunstreaker.
Shot.
Not Sunstreaker?
No.
Sure Shot.
Shot.
And...
Sure Shot, that's who it is, yep.
They said Wind Charger. They said
Wind Charger and
their
RC.
name.
Yep. Yeah, okay.
That was hilarious. I loved that.
It was really good. And then the last of my notes, we end on a cliffhanger with Provoke being X-Archon, which to me felt obvious
I felt like they've
at this point because their
Yeah.
attitude throughout the comic.
definitely been leading up to it.
I don't know. It was a surprise to me. I was really hoping they would be
Didn't know
just
what
alive.
was going on. I knew it was something because of the way they had spoken of Cybertron, like bending around Provoke and like kind of trying to cover them up, almost like they didn't want it to like Provoke to be. Oh, the way they kind of spoke about it, like she was supposed to disappear but didn't. I knew she was going to be something. I just didn't know what she was going to be.
No, I'm
for
excited
sure.
to see. As I feel like the Skywarp was a big misdirect so that you
was
could
great.
have this at
It
the
was
end, which
absolutely
worked great because I didn't even think about it. So it was great.
Yeah.
So
Definitely
I'm
excited.
I'm excited
Well-
to see because now Flatline is part of
Okay,
the
and I'm
tree,
sad
so-
because I wanted to see
Yeah,
more
it's true,
independent
it's true.
Flatline.
Yeah, I love
Flatline.
Flatline, and
Flatline's
How
flatline.
dare
we
you?
didn't see much.
That was a
in
terrible
2005, but I feel like they're
Yeah.
gonna have a bigger role here.
Time of death
Stop.
right now.
Are you a senior physician? You can't announce.
All right,
anything.
anything we should circle back to?
I liked all the cover arts, especially
Um,
that one of Skywarp sitting on the
1033.
and 30. Oh wow! Did you actually just announce
Yeah.
time of death? So rude.
Yeah,
I
you
just
can't
did.
stop me.
Need to see your license to practice, please.
The art
The art
gallery's
gallery's
really good.
incredible.
Yeah,
Skyward was
it's right here.
just being on the throne is just very
Mm.
low key. As I don't know why, but it just feels giving me low key vibes.
Absolutely.
We ready for
I
Rod
have
Stars?
I have one more
I think
quote.
we are.
One Clickbait's quotes. It was in issue
Okay.
33, and it was Swindle was talking about Six Shot, And just the sarcasm in this quote I thought was absolutely hilarious. It's when Six Shot is talking to Swindle and kind of dissing the little almost WWE like business. Yeah, the fighting ring that Swindle has going on. And it's the Six Shot leaves and Swindle just looks at him and he goes, "What a ray of light. Illuminates everywhere he goes with his enthusiasm and positivity." And he was obviously so upset about it. It was hilarious. We already said the other two. The Take Me to Your Leader and then the Anti-Rainmakers were my other two, but we already covered those.
As soon as I read that, I'm like, this is going to be a clickbait, quick quotes.
Right.
Yeah,
They
definitely.
had that vibe. So
Apparently, I've been hanging out too long. We figured out your
Rude.
style
There were
here.
a couple more, but I didn't want to take up too much time with my quick quotes because it's supposed to be quick and all, but
Yeah. Trick Diamond is, I'm glad they're back. And they did have a little bit of some time there, so that was pretty good.
All right, who wants to be
2, 3,
first for
not it.
Rod
Just kidding.
Stars?
I can go first. 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed these ones. They were great. They had action, they had some lore, and then they had some great conversations between the characters and deep thoughts between of what's all going on and different perspectives and all that. And the art is gorgeous, and all the twists and turns were amazing. So 5 out of 5.
Well,
Clickbait?
I'm also going to rate it 5 out of 5. I loved everything about this. I loved the lore. Anytime someone actually uses Cybertronian to translate into something gets almost instant like points. 5 out of 5. Beautiful art, beautiful writing, wonderful dialogue, and a lot of fun Easter eggs and fun cameos that we had in this episodes, issues. Whew, I'm tired.
Same thing, right?
Drinks are kicking in, I see.
I'm gonna do 4.5 out of 5.
Onyx.
4.5 out of 5. Wonderful art, wonderful story writing. But here's where I knock off half a star. We didn't spend that long in the old timeline, and I think we should have spent a little bit longer there. We also didn't get enough
fair.
of
I'll give you that.
Skywarp. He was
Oh my
only there
God.
for a few panels,
Jeez.
and then he was killed off. Just hand wavy, killed off. You know,
Skyward?
could have used a little bit more. Yeah, Skylink.
Oh,
You never know,
crushed
not
it.
in this series.
You never know.
Yeah. Well,
You never know with Transformers.
yeah, that's fair. Anyway,
So
4.5.
Wow.
Well, listeners,
Why is Onyx wrong?
what did you think of these comics? How many Rod Stars would you give it? Let us know by leaving a comment below. Okay, for emails, if you would like to get in contact with us, you can send us an email at swervesbarpodcast@gmail.com. That's SWEVE, oh my god, SWERVESBAR podcast@gmail.com. Do you guys have any new toys you want to talk about?
I got Skull Cruncher from Legacy. He's great. I like him. I wish the other Pretenders got bigger toys, like the Sonic Boom, I think it is, the little bat thing, but
Ooh.
it's fine.
Super cute.
It's pretty
I
nice
picked
figure.
up Animated Prowl, Legacy Animated Prowl. That figure is a lot of fun. It's really cute. I
Nice.
love
Nice.
him.
How is it?
He's adorable. Not a toy, but now I have
Nice,
a
nice. I
Loungefly
got
Optimus
the-
Prime backpack, which is adorable. So cute. It's got flames.
Nice. Flames make
Absolutely.
you go faster, right?
Yeah.
I got the Fans Hobby or Fans Toys Armada
Ooh,
Galvatron, which is really nice. Now he can go next to my Armada Optimus Prime, and it's really fun. He's got his little Minicon guy. It's like a masterpiece scale. Yeah, I'm liking
nice,
it. Liking
nice.
it. Pretty well done.
Nice.
Pretty well done. All right. Are you two ready for Transformers, the 2021 annual comic?
Always ready.
I'm ready.
For next time.
I'm ready.
Kilobyte, do you mind taking us out?
If you enjoyed this episode, consider sharing it with your friends and subscribing. If you want to help out the show even further, we have started a Patreon. All of the proceeds will go to supporting the show and keeping the lights on. Of course, we have some tiers that offer other forms of gratitude, such as 3D printed files and entry to our Discord channel. You'll even get early access to our comic review episodes and our D&D episodes before they're publicly released. Also, we have a goal to reach 500 subscribers. We will be holding a brand new kind of giveaway we've never done before. So make sure to click that subscribe button and tell your friends it's a good time. And as always, we hope you're all staying safe out there. Thank you so much for listening. Till all are one.
Till all are one.
All are one.
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok at Swerve Podcast, and even on Tumblr. Yes, with everything going on Twitter, we figured we should cover our bases. Speaking of which, you can also find us on Twitter at Swerve if that's still a thing. If you're interested in more content, try checking out our spin-off D&D series, Transform and Roll Out. Season 3, titled Eons, is now available. Let's tune in to a preview now.
Start rushing, and Allegory's trying to stop Synthwave from rushing to Luna.
I just want her to stop screaming. Like, shh, we're being
So
stealthy.
not necessary. We all have, comms.
That's true. What's the goal now? Are you all trying to go to sneak?
I mean, Alita always does everything stealthy, but apparently the other party members thought otherwise.
Too much
I'm
panic
trying
right
to
now.
make her be stealthy. No,
Some of them are missing a few brain modules, but
wow.
Nice, right?
Well, guys, it seems like we need to be more stealthy. Next time, we'll just have to be a lot more quiet.
Alita just
We-
rolls her eyes.
I'm going back for Luna.
Look, we all wanted to figure out who the culprit is, but
Synthwave.
together, we are into this. I said that backwards.
It's you, Scorch.
So I kind of just stare at them because my hands are already up, technically, above my head. And I slowly lump them forward and I go, oh no, I'm a prisoner.
Well, that was certainly something. There is also a YouTube channel with bonus content, such as video games containing funny comments and trendy shorts. A link will be provided below. And if you're so inclined, you can support us on Patreon, where you can get even more bonus content, such as reading files, access to their Discord, and listen to the content before it's released to the public. More links will be provided below. End transmission.